going to start off today making some rice. Now today I'm just using jasmine rice. I got about 3 cups. I'm putting it in my pan there. And I'm getting ready. I forgot to wash the rice or record washing the rice. Anywho, for every cup of rice I add in 1.25 cups of water. So I've got 3 3/4 cups of water that I'm pouring into there. Now I'm going to put it on high, and one of the things with meal prep is I always start with the thing that takes the longest, which this time is the rice. Now today we are making egg roll in the bowl, which is one of my favorite dishes, not just because it's so simple to make, but because there is actually so much flavor even with only a couple of ingredients, which makes it an easy budget meal. And so I'm adding about 1/3 cup of soy sauce and 1/3 cup of rice vinegar. I always do a 1-to-1 portion with those. And today I'm making this for 3 people, so I had to create quite a big amount. This is going to be for 3 whole days. Some meaty lunches. Now the next part is definitely the most tedious, and that's chopping the fresh garlic and ginger. Now you can use powdered garlic and powdered ginger, that works just as fine. I find with the fresh ginger there's just such a deeper flavor with it, so whenever I can I just go for the fresh ginger. Now, my favorite way to handle garlic is to first chop off the ends and then to give them a really good whack with the knife. I do recommend, if you can, one of the things in my kitchen that is worth the investment is an excellent French knife. One that feels good in your hand, gives you good weight, and is easily sharpened. And do sharpen it regularly. It makes a massive impact in how easy you can cut little things like ginger and garlic. Once I have all that diced up, I just toss it into the soy sauce and rice vinegar, so it's just an easy pour into the pan once everything's ready to go. The rice has now reached a nice rolling boil, so I'm turning it low, not minimum, but low, and I'm turning on my cast iron pan, oiling it up. I have it on about medium and letting that heat up a little bit before adding my ground pork. Now, like I said, I'm cooking this for 3 people for 3 days, and I'm actually having 3 pounds of ground pork. I usually use about 1/3 pound per person when I'm cooking down meat or when I'm trying to plan my meals. So it works out to about 1 pound a day, and that's all 3 days. I'm going to let this ground pork brown just a little bit, not all the way through, before I add my sauce in. So I just break it up, get it to start heating up, and get ready to add my sauce. One thing I want to quickly mention while I get ready to pour this soy sauce mix into here is the fact that I will be having all of the ingredients in the description box, and I'm going to have a link to the recipe on my blog. So this is just one of the first meal preps that I'm creating for this YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing this about once a week, adding in different meals and also snacks and breakfasts, things like that. So if you want to hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all of those fun things. Now that that pork is completely browned through, I'm going to add a broccoli slaw mix. So it's cabbage, carrots, and shredded broccoli. You could shred your own cabbage and carrots and everything like that. I just did this because it's easy and cheap and just simple to do. So I put in 1 bag and I let that cook down a little bit because that takes up quite a bit of volume. I'm actually about at my max for my pan here, but once that cooked down, I put the other one on top and kind of salad tossed it in before putting a lid on it and letting that really cook down into the mix. This next part is totally optional, but my husband likes to have kind of that sauce that just sticks to the meat. So I'm just taking a little bit of water and 2 tablespoons of, I believe I have arrowroot powder here. However, coconut flour works just as well. And I'm going to very slowly add it to the mix. You'll see how I kind of push aside, pour a little in, stir it, push aside, pour a little in, stir it. This makes sure that there's no clumps, and then I continue to salad toss it and bring everything together. This will help thicken it up, but it doesn't give you that cornstarch flavor, and it doesn't really thicken like flour. It really does stick to the meat and the veggies and creates a really nice deep sauce that gets that soy sauce all the way around all of those ingredients, just making it so delicious. Now I'm getting ready to dish up. So with that rice, I had let it simmer for about 20 minutes or so until the rice rose above the water, and I left the lid, turned it off, left the lid on, let it soften while I continued to cook the egg roll in a bowl mix. Now, when I made that 3 cups of rice, I knew it would come out with 9 cups cooked, and I wanted 1 cup of rice per serving. So I'm just portioning that out. I don't really have to count or anything because I made exactly how much I knew I would need. I actually think it ended up with a little bit extra, but I just portioned it out into all of the containers. Now I'm just doing the exact same thing with that egg roll in the bowl mix. Exactly the same thing as that I made 3 pounds of meat. It reduced down along with the veggies, and I knew that I would just be able to separate that out into the 9 containers. And so all 3 of us will have food for 3 days for our lunches, full meals, ready to go. Now, one thing you could do extra to just kind of top this off and make it fancy is once it's cooled, you can actually put frozen pot stickers in with the rice, and when you microwave it, it will soften the pot stickers with it. That's one option. I didn't end up doing that with them. They didn't know that I skipped out on that, but maybe next time I'll do something like that. And there you have it. 9 easy meals for 3 people for 3 days. Absolutely delicious in less than 30 minutes and can be done on a budget. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and a subscribe, and I will see you next week.